Sheepers, that scared me. Hold on, you guys, I can't see you. Oh. Hi, Rebecca. I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes, give people some time to pop on, and then I will jump right in to the call. Hi, Angel. There you are. I was like, one of you has to show your face.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
I'm still learning how to do this.
It takes some getting used to.
Definitely. Oh, goodness.
Oh, raised a hand. I don't know how you did that.
I don't know. Oh, I figured it out. Woohoo!
I've never even seen that happen. What did you do?
I don't know. It just kept saying raise hand. I did.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know.
That's a new feature, and it gave me like a notification saying that you raised hand. I don't know.
Maybe it's, I want to speak now? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. That's funny. I don't know.
I have no clue.
That's funny. Learn something new every day.
I know, right? Gotta love it. I need a bookmark.
I'll just wait like another minute, and then I'll just dive in. I always record these, so if you have to like hop off or can't make it, he'll be in the file section.
Perfect. I have to leave for ball by 7:30, so we're good.
Okay. When I start talking, I just ask if you guys can mute yourselves. Just
Okay, yep.
I get really distracted, like background noise, and then I lose my train of thought. So, and then obviously if you have questions, you can type them, like there's a little chat section, you can type them as I'm talking, or just wait till I'm done and you can just unmute yourself and ask. It's totally up to you.
What is? I think I muted myself.
There's a little like microphone down in the left-hand corner. If you just click it, it should. Yeah.
Oh, not it. We're good.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna jump right in just so again I don't keep you guys all night.
Good.
So, a few of you mentioned you wanted to learn. Oh, you're not mute. I don't think either of you are muted.
I'm trying to find it. Oh.
There we go. Okay. Because yeah, it's just weird. It like magnifies the sound for me, and it's yeah. Anyway, okay. So you guys mentioned wanting to learn kind of about Instagram, relationship building, stuff like that. So I just wanted to start off by saying that everyone, like what I do isn't going to work for everyone. So that is a big reason. Like, yes, coaches all have like, you know, we all do kind of the same behaviors and stuff like that, but we all have kind of different systems and different things that are going to work, right? So that's a big reason I share other videos, like not to overwhelm, more so just because sometimes you might watch another coach and be like, wow, like what she does works better for me, or I'm more comfortable with that. And that just works. Like for me, I don't message people on Instagram. So this topic, like that you guys asked me to talk about, I don't personally do it. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work and that I haven't watched trainings on it, because eventually I will. But right now, Facebook just works for me. And, you know, it's like that saying, why fix something that's not broken? So until I kind of run out of people to chat with on Facebook, that's what I'm comfortable with. That's, you know, what I like to use. Plus, like, I love Teamsy. You guys know I preach Teamsy, but it doesn't allow you to import contacts from Instagram. So that's why, again, it just goes well with Facebook. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys, like, obviously I hope I can give you some good tips and tricks, but you can always like dive into other trainings. YouTube is so awesome. Like literally any topic you're ever unsure about with coaching, you can find a million videos on YouTube. Some of them are 5 minutes, some of them are an hour and a half. And it's kind of like I said, it's nice, all different coaches, because we all learn differently. We're all different, right? Even though we're kind of like connected by similar like goals and stuff like that. But anyway, I do have some tips. Like I do use Instagram, obviously, like I use stories. I've grown my following. I started focusing on that back in the fall. I've grown it from like 3,000 to over 10,000 since then. And that was a big focus of mine because when you get 10,000 followers, you get the swipe up feature on your story. So if you guys ever see, like I say, swipe up to like join the group or whatever, that is, I find a really cool feature to have on Instagram, because then you can put the link to like Facebook groups, put the link to like your application, and they just swipe up and it goes right to it. So I thought that was really cool. So that was like a big push for me to grow my following. There's a few ways to do it. It is time consuming, I will tell you that, unless, like, I know a few girls that have paid people. Like I had a girl reach out to me asking me to pay her, it was like $100 a month or something, to basically do what I was doing myself. And I was just like, you know what, no, like I'm good right now. I know it would have taken a lot off my plate, but I have never really been someone to like spend a ton of money on my business. I really like organically growing it as opposed to like paying someone to do it for me. So if that interests you, like I said, I do know some girls that have like found like little companies on Instagram, and they will follow people for you. They will target, like they'll ask you kind of some questions, what interests you, stuff like that, and they will do it for you. So that's always an option, but there are some other ways to do it organically. So what I personally did, I just followed a crap ton of people. Every day I followed like 100 to 200 new accounts. And like I would just do this, and you can't do it like all at once. Like Facebook or Instagram only allows you to follow so many new accounts an hour, or you'll get a little notification that you're blocked from it. I swear I got that notification every other day. But as long as you like, you know, like follow it, you won't get like too much shit. But anyway, so I just try to do it like, you know, maybe I do like 10 in the morning, 10 or 20 in the morning, and then 20 in the afternoon, and then do more like at night when I'm just sitting watching TV or something. So initially I wasn't really putting too much like focus on who I was following. I just wanted to grow my followers. Like I just, you know, that was just my goal. So I literally just went to like the search bar on bottom like of your Instagram thing, and I just kind of found photos like that I liked, you know, like food, nails, and I would just click that photo, and then it brings up a bunch of other accounts that are similar. And I just went through, I'd like their photo, follow them, like their photo, follow them, like their photo, follow them. And I did that every day. Like I said, I followed about 100 new accounts a day. But I was getting like sometimes 50 to 100 new followers like a day or every other day. Because the more engaged you are and the more like you're liking other people's stuff, the more they see your stuff. And people like that, right? Like it's social media for a reason. Like the more you interact and stuff like that. So that was what I did. And I tried to do, a lot of people will like follow 100 and then the next day go back and unfollow like the people they followed a couple days ago. I found that kind of too much. So I followed like a whole bunch of people. Like my following was like up to like 7,000 people I think I was following. So it got over my number of followers, but then that was when I slowly started to go back and unfollow accounts that like just didn't really interest me and stuff like that. The main thing is just like following new accounts. However you want to do it, you can follow, unfollow. There's a couple like rules that I've learned from trainings. Not Melanie Mitro. Oh my goodness, what's her name? She's a super trainer, Turbo Fire. Shailene Johnson. Her. So I did a training, like an Instagram training from her one day, and she does the 5-3-1 rule. So she goes to an account that she likes, that catches her attention, you know, someone you think you might be friends with. She likes 5 of their photos, comments on 3, and follows them. And she says if you do that, like if you like 5, comment on 3, then they'll follow you back. That was basically her rule of thumb. So 5-3-1 rule. So you can do that. Gary Vaynerchuk, he is someone that like I love. If you haven't read any of his books or like listened to his podcast, he's amazing. So he does the $1.80 rule on Instagram. So what that is he says, okay, I always say this wrong. So leaving your 2 cents on the top 9 Instagram posts for 10 hashtags. So it depends on, like I said, how much work you want to put into it. Like So that's, you're commenting on 90 different posts a day, which to me, that's a lot. But it's, again, it's, he says, like, by you doing that, like, that's a good 3 hours. You know, you're making friends, you're kind of building relationships, you're adding value. So that's another way. So yeah, apparently like the 2 cents, I guess it adds up to $1.80, the 2 cents on 9 posts for 10 hashtags. Not good at math, but I remember figuring it out one day, and it is $1.80. So he always says to leave your $1.80 or spend $1.80 on Instagram a day. So yeah, 2 cents on the top 9 Instagram posts for 10 hashtags. So you pick 10 hashtags that you're interested in, you go to them, and you comment on the top 9 photos. And he doesn't mean just comment like a heart or an emoji, you know, like actually comment like something genuine. Or he said, like, if someone asks a question on their post and you know an answer it, like just engage. So those are kind of the different ways you can grow your following. Again, it all depends on how much time you want to spend on it. For me, I like doing the just follow, unfollow. And now that it's over the 10,000, now I'm a little more mindful of who I follow. It's actually more accounts that like girls that I would like, you know, maybe to be on my team and stuff like that. So I actually kind of pay more attention to who I'm following, whereas before I just followed whoever. So that's how to grow following. So Jane asked about apps to unfollow. So it sucks because I hate how you can't get the same apps on Android and iPhone. So I had an Android pretty much, I think, since I started coaching. And then I just got an iPhone again like a couple months ago. So you can't get the same apps, which is, yeah, annoying. So apps to unfollow. So there's a lot out there, and I don't really have one to recommend because I used one on my Android and it worked really, really awesome, but I don't remember what it was called because I don't have that phone anymore. So Jane was just curious because like some people like to unfollow everyone that doesn't follow them back. So if that's something you want to do, there's a ton of different apps. You can actually Google it, like best unfollow apps for Android or best unfollow apps for iPhone, and just see which one like you like best. I personally, I don't really care if people are following me. I'm just gonna unfollow you if like, I shouldn't say that. I don't care if like, I'm more so just when I unfollow people, it's more just if it was accounts that are like spammy or just that I follow just to follow. Everyone else, like if they're liking my stuff or whatever, I obviously won't unfollow them, but I more so just use my own judgment of who I want to unfollow. So I don't use an app for that. But again, it's just gonna be personal preference. So I don't really have an app to suggest. I can post, I know on Alive and Well, this topic got brought up like a few months ago. So maybe I'll try to find that thread and just like screenshot it to give you guys some like app ideas. Okay, next thing was where to find people, how to message them, how to build relationships. So I find that no matter what platform you're using to message people and build relationships, all coaches pretty much do it the same way, unless you're cold messaging. So cold messaging is just literally, hi, how are you? Do you want to sign up with me or buy something from me or join my group? I don't do that. I will never recommend you guys do that, but that's not to say you can't. Lots of coaches have grown their business from cold messaging. It's just never been something I'm comfortable with. And I know for me personally, when I get those messages, which I feel like now I get at least one a day, that it's just like, hey, will you be a product tester for me? Like 90 days, you can use my discount, like whatever. I just find that really impersonal, and I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. So how I would do it, and again, like, okay, so for Instagram, I need to find a topic to start with. So where to find people to message, we'll start with that. So on Instagram, you could do it, whoever's liking your posts, whoever's watching your stories. You could literally go to, again, that like search thing, if there's like hashtags that you like or like groups that you know you're a part of, and like just look at accounts. Like again, like not accounts that have like 50,000 followers or something, like that are already in, clearly they're already doing something businessy or like some type of like social network marketing, whatever. So like just, you know, people that you'd be friends with, and then just check out their profile. And I find like the best way to message people is just look at it as like making a friend first. So kind of get the whole like selling them something, getting them to join you out of your head, and literally just focus on building a relationship. So like you can compliment them. Something I know a lot of coaches do is like, maybe someone has a cute dog or a cute sweater, cute dress, cute outfit. They got a fun haircut. They posted a meal recipe that looked really good. So that is how you could start a conversation. You could just be like, hey girl. Well, I don't say hey girl anymore. I always try to use their name. So like, hey Angel. This, like, you could say like, this might seem random, but like I saw a post you did and I really loved your top. Like, where did you get it? Or, oh my gosh, you posted a really yummy like homemade recipe the other day. Like, do you mind sharing it? Or honestly, sometimes like I just say hi to people. Like you came across my newsfeed. I just wanted to pop in and say hi. Like, how's your summer going? And literally just like starting a conversation. At first, it's gonna feel weird. I feel like no matter what you say to someone, it's gonna feel weird no matter what you say, because something you don't do, they're likely not like your best friend or your mom or your dad or like whoever, right? So it's gonna feel weird. But that's kind of like everything that's kind of new to us, like posting, like, you know, Instagram stories, all of this is new. Like even like when you started like your first workout program or whatever, it's all gonna feel kind of weird. So there's no way, I feel like, that we can message people that's not gonna feel a little uncomfortable at first. But I promise you, if you start doing it consistently every day, it will become just like anything else, like brushing your teeth. And like start small. Like I message 30 people a day, but I did not start out doing that. Like it took me a while to build up to that. I started with about 3 to 5, even start with 1. Do that for a week, then move up to 2 or 3. Like just do what's comfortable, but the more, like I said, the more you do it, you'll just get in kind of a good groove of it and try different things. Like with me with Facebook, like not everyone that I message has something on their page that I can really like talk to them about. So they're like, oh, I like your shirt, or your cute dog, or your meal looks yummy. Doesn't always apply because they don't necessarily post something that you can comment on. So I will just, like I said, say hi. How's your summer going? And it's crazy that, and I always end it with like, and I hope you're having a great day. People are like super thankful. They just think, oh my God, like, well, they don't think, they say, that's so sweet. Like, thank you so much for thinking of me, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll try to just like, you know, some people will just like try to cut it off. I feel like they're like, oh, thank you so much. My summer is great. And like, they don't ask how yours was or anything, but I don't just leave it. I'm like, oh, like, I just keep asking questions. Then I'll just say like, oh, have you done anything exciting? Like any plans coming up? And you can kind of gauge people's like responses, right? 1-word answers. I'll still try. Like I'll just ask questions, and then eventually it's like, okay, the conversation's kind of fizzling. You can tell they're just not really wanting to talk to you, and that's okay. Like I just say, okay, it was really nice like chatting. I hope you have a great week. And some people, that's the thing. Like I always like to use the analogy, like we're not chocolate, we're not pizza. Like not everyone's gonna love us and, you know, want to be our friend. So it's okay to have conversations that fizzle out. Like not everyone is gonna want to like chat with you. But no one's ever rude. Like no one's ever like, why the heck are you messaging me? That's the thing. Like that's what I was worried about, was that people were gonna like be rude to me or think I was weird or whatever. But no one ever says negative things. And there's times that you message people and you have an amazing conversation, and it's like you click and you just have so much in common, and like you're like, wow, like how have we not like met before, been friends before? So it's kind of cool in that sense too. So yeah, I like to tell people to just have fun with it and just look at it as making a new friend, like building a new relationship. Try not to overcomplicate it. That's something I feel like we all do. We really overcomplicate things and then we just don't do it. So just keep it simple. Like I literally every day, because I have a bunch of girls on my Facebook that I've never really talked to. So in my opinion, if they're on my friends list, why can't I say hi to them, right? Like they've accepted my friend request or vice versa. So it's really not that weird. And Instagram, I feel like people follow random people all the time. So it's also not weird on Instagram to message people because it's just kind of what people do. And especially Instagram, like people are posting really cool photos, like really nice meal pictures, stuff like that, like nice like outside scenery. So it wouldn't be weird. Like I would love if someone messaged me and said like, hey Jen, like I really love that photo you posted, or, you know, like complimented me or whatever. Like, so just try to shift your mindset into like just making someone's day instead of like, oh, who can I message to like sign up with a package kind of thing. I know that was like a big shift for me and something that really allowed me to actually message people when I stopped thinking like I need to sell them something and started thinking like I just want to like say hi and, you know, make a new friend, make someone's day kind of thing. And then you'll be surprised, like, because usually when you message someone, they go to your page. That is why I stress posting every day is so important, because they're going to go look at your page and see where you're up to. So if you're sharing about your workouts and stuff like that, chances are they're going to ask at some point. And if they don't, well, another reason I stress building relationships is because so every month when I have like a new challenge group or like I'm running a coaching sneak peek next week, like for our team, all these relationships like that I've started over the last like month, then I'll just kind of slide it in there. And it's only people that I've been chatting with for like a little bit. Like I don't do it randomly, and I'll always like reply to their message, and then I'll just slide it in there. Like, oh, by the way, I have a new online health and wellness group starting this day. I have a few spots left. I'm not sure if you're interested, but like I would love to send you more information, like, or if you have a friend or whatever. And like, again, people are either like, yes, send me more information, or they're like, I'm not interested right now, but do you run groups in the fall kind of thing? Or people are just like, no thanks, like not right now. But people are not ever rude or like mean and whatever. And it's much easier to kind of slide in a little invite when you've already been talking to them, so they don't think it's weird or random or whatever. So build relationships, where to find people. Yeah, I think I covered all of that. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. If I don't have notes, I get like so sidetracked. I'll be talking about like pancakes or something. Okay, so attracting non-Beachbody people. So this is a good question that Jane mentioned. And this is a tough one because that's just something like that's never going to go away. And that's not a bad thing. Like I remember thinking, oh, only Beachbody coaches are liking my posts. And in the beginning, that's very normal. Like mine has definitely grown a bit now, but still. And it's because, well, I think it's more because we like people, like we obviously try to support each other. So we're always liking Beachbody coaches and Beachbody people's stuff, right? So Instagram automatically is going to bring up content of stuff that you like most frequently. And they're going to recommend pages and like accounts that you're kind of following or like engaging with. So I'm not saying don't like and support other people like coaches, but make sure you're having a good balance. Like don't just like and comment on Beachbody coaches stuff. Go like you want to expand and like, you know, it's kind of where you're like you're following and unfollowing things going to come into play. If you're doing that, that's going to mean you're following other people's stuff, and that's why it's good to go look at people's pages, because a lot of times you can tell, like if you see a Shakeology shaker cup in one of their posts, don't like there's no sense in following them and messaging them because they're either a coach or they already have a coach. So just like if you just take a quick scroll and look at their first couple photos, I find there's usually red flags. You can tell people are into Beachbody. If they're not into Beachbody, like say if they do Argon or Unique, I still message people like that because you just never know. And like I've had lots of girls do like makeup and like Beachbody, or they've left Arbonne and want to try something else. So don't ever cross out someone that's with another company. Obviously, you just want to avoid Beachbody coaches and customers because they're already doing it. So yeah, my biggest tip for that is just to make sure you're liking other people's stuff as well and engaging on other people's stuff and following not Beachbody people and like friending not Beachbody people. That's a big thing. Like when I send out new friend requests on Facebook, I check their mutual friends. If they have all four of us as friends, I'm not going to add them because they're already seeing you guys talk about Beachbody. They don't need another person on their newsfeed talking about Beachbody. So that's another thing. Like, just take a quick peek at like people that already follow them or mutual friends in common, what they're posting. Because I know we don't obviously spam like Beachbody, 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 but I find, like I said, if you look, you can tell usually that, like, especially us, like, we know the Beachbody programs, whatever. If you just look at their wording, you can often tell that they're doing a program. So honestly, just kind of try to avoid following those people. And not to say you can't follow them. I just mean, like, make sure you're following other people too. Hashtags. So I'm not really big on hashtags. I never have been. But that is something like you can try to do. I know Jane mentioned she has kind of switched up her hashtags, and she's still attracting Beachbody coaches. So again, I think that will just be watching like what you're liking, what you're commenting on, who you're following, and just making sure it's other people. So search, and like, yeah, like search hashtags that you like that interest you and that aren't Beachbody related. Like, don't go to the hashtag Beachbody and follow a bunch of people from that. Like, that's silly, because they're going to be all coaches and stuff, or like 21 Day Fix or Shakeology. And also avoid using hashtag Beachbody, hashtag 21 Day Fix, hashtag Live4. And I know we all do it in the beginning. It was something I did, and you don't know until someone kind of says to you don't do it and why. And it's for that exact reason, because so many coaches and customers are using it that those hashtags are only going to attract other coaches and customers. Not to mention, if you're trying to attract not Beachbody people, you don't want to use those anyway, because people, not everyone knows what that means. Like, you say like Shakeology or Beachbody on Demand, like, people don't know what that means. So they could easily just go to Google and type in what is Shakeology, and then they have no reason to message you, because they can just order right there off of the main website. So that's a big thing. Like, curiosity marketing is kind of like something I like to teach you guys. And that just means, like, don't give away everything in your posts. Like, don't be like, I'm a Beachbody coach, I'm doing Live4, I drink Shakeology and Energize and Recover and blah, blah, blah. Because again, then people don't need to ask you anything, because you just gave it to them all right there in a post. So I make up different names for all of my stuff. Like, Beachbody on Demand is Netflix for workouts. My Energize, I've gone through a few different names. Right now it's my legal crack. I always call like Shakeology my superfood shake. I never use program names. I always say my program, because we're allowed. Like, I remember watching trainings, you're allowed to talk about this stuff like it's your own. You know, so I always say, oh, just finished like a killer arm day, or I'm on day 17 to 32 of the program I'm doing right now. So just take out any like Beachbody terminology, so that way people have to ask, like, what program are you doing? Or what's the superfood shake? Or what's your yellow drink? Like, a lot of people, because I post it every day, and Instagram, I do get a lot of messages like, okay, what is that yellow drink that you drink like coffee every day? So just like make them curious, give them a reason to ask what you're doing, right? So yeah, just don't give away everything in your post. I'm just trying to think if I had anything else. I think that's all I had. Do you guys have any questions? No? Sorry, I feel like that just came to an abrupt halt. I just like got to the end of my notes and I was like, oh, usually I have something else I'll ramble about, but I don't. Oh, Sam, are you there? I want to take a picture before you have to hop off, Rebecca. You guys can take a picture too. It's always a good Instagram story post or an actual post on your wall. Oh, you're doing the dishes. Oh, multitasking right there. That's another thing I always tell people, like with your personal development, like, you don't just sit down and just listen, like put it on while you're cooking, or a lot of coaches listen to it while they work out. I can't do that, but while you're driving, things like that. Okay, on the count of 3, smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Oh, did you guys want a picture too? Are you taking one? No? Yeah? Okay. So yeah, that is kind of Instagram, building relationships. Again, like I said in the beginning, what I do. Okay. Thank you for coming on, Rebecca. Oh. So again, like what I do is not going to work for everyone. And that is a big reason. Like I've been a coach for 3 years, so I have tried a lot of different things. And that's the thing with this, like people, like I call it failing forward, because I don't look at it as actually failing. If you're trying new things, like that's how you're going to find what works for you. And again, like so many coaches love Instagram and do all their messaging on Instagram. I love Facebook. And so again, like there's no right or wrong. It's just what works for you. And I know eventually I'm going to have to move my messaging over to Instagram, because you're only allowed so many friends on Facebook. So I'll run out of people to chat with. But again, you've just got to try different things, find what works for you. And the biggest thing is just doing it and getting started. Like Angel, I know you said today, like, what do you do to get started? And the biggest thing, so like you're doing 80-day obsession. So that is something you should talk about every day, whether it's, you know, a little clip of your workout in your stories, whether it's about like just what day you're on, something about your meal, the portion containers, your shakes, but you should share something about that program every day, especially because, you know, it's an 80-day program. People are going to follow you. And some days, like, so when I started as a coach, I did 21-day picks. I posted every day of those 21 days. And some days it was literally day 1 of 21 with a check mark, like nothing crazy, but it just shows people that you're showing up, you're being accountable. And hey, maybe you had a crappy workout. Say that, you know, today wasn't my best, but I showed up, I pressed play. If you know, slip up with your eating, you can talk about that. Just always kind of try to talk about something to do with your journey every day. And then just doing, so that power hour that I talked to you about today, again, that is what grew my business, doing that consistently every day, because it has all of these things on it. It tells you to post, it tells you to work out, to drink your shake, to add, you know, add or follow new people on your Facebook, your Instagram, to send out a few new like, hey girl messages. So it's literally all of this stuff in one daily checklist. So if you do that every day, you're doing all the things you need to do to grow your business. And eventually, like, it just becomes like clockwork. And, you know, you start getting more comfortable with posting. And there are still days like, I'm like, what the heck am I going to post about? And it's hard. It is hard to think of things some days. And other days, I feel like I could talk about 30 different things. But it's just about showing up, because people are always watching. Whether they like and comment or not, people are always watching, and you'll learn that down the road. You'll get messages from people and they'll be like, oh, hey, like I've been following your journey for, you know, X amount of months, and they want to join you. And you're like, you've never liked or commented on one of my posts. But that's the thing. They're always watching. So it's important to just show up even when you don't feel like it, because then people realize like, okay, like she's not perfect. She's showing up anyway. She's, you know, trying her best and trying to be better every day. And then they feel good about coming to you and working with you. Because like, I know for me, like if it was like, if I was following a coach and she only showed up like 1 day a week, that isn't really someone I feel like would be able to help me. That doesn't mean I want someone that's perfect, because I'm not perfect. Like I still enjoy, you know, having drinks or having cheat meals and stuff like that. So, but I still always post and just kind of share about my journey. And so that's another thing, like kind of think about, try to be the coach you would want for yourself. But yeah, that is honestly like the biggest thing to get started, is just to get started. So you're already doing a program, you're very active, like in the team page, watching videos, doing trainings. And I know it can get overwhelming. I was just talking to another girl on the team today that I post a lot sometimes, and I do not do it to overwhelm you guys. I just do it so that it's there. You know, if you're ever like at home one day and you have some extra time. But like for me, I still get overwhelmed as a coach, and like I'm in all these different groups and people are posting stuff and there's new videos every day, and it's hard. But what I do, like you guys, like I have this agenda, like I write in it every day. Like I am such a list person. And if there's a video someone posts that I want to watch, I just add it to my to-do list. If I don't watch it that day, that's okay. It just carries over. I'll write it. I'll write it on my tomorrow list. And again, like some days I can watch 3 training videos and sometimes I go a week without watching one. But I always just carry it over so that it's there when I have the extra time. I just find having a list and knowing that you don't have to follow all the posts and watch everything right when I post it, that it's just there for your like reference or for you to check out when you can. But yeah, that power hour, like I said, I know I talk about it a lot, but it's just because it's literally everything right there in one daily checklist. You can bang it out in like an hour, hour and a half, depending on, because like I said, it does include your workout and like training videos and stuff like that. So it just kind of depends how long your workout is, how much PD you're going to do, like how long you spend on it. But when I started coaching, like I worked 3 other jobs. So I literally, it was like 10 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes on my lunch, and like half an hour at night when I got home. But if you're focused and you just go down that list, you'll get faster at it, obviously, the more you do it. And yeah, like that done consistently will grow your business. And see how I get off on tangents. But yeah, I think that's all I have. I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. No? Okay. Well, if you think of any, you can always just message me or post them in the page or whatever. Okay. Well, I won't keep you guys. I will be doing a power hour Zoom tomorrow morning. If anyone's available, I'll actually be doing it. So I'll just post the link. And again, like I just kind of leave my screen open because I'm working anyway. So if you guys pop on anytime, awesome. It just kind of, I find it helps like when I know like if like Sam's face is right there in the corner of my computer screen, I find I work harder because it's like she's watching me even though she's not. And it's just nice to feel like you're not working by yourself sometimes too. And if like you have questions, I'm here. So yeah. That's all I got for the 3rd time. But anyway, ladies, thank you so much for popping on and listening to me chat. If you have any questions, yeah, message me. Always here. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Okay. Bye, you guys.